So you just opened your eyes and you're in the Middle Ages. Big history wants you to think you'd be a noble. Nah, bro, you're a peasant. You're a total NPC. Your house? It's a one-room studio apartment, but without the studio part. It's just one room. That's your bedroom, your kitchen, your living room, and a mini zoo, because the animals sleep inside with you to keep warm. Chickens, goats, maybe a pig, everyone's vibing together. The floor is literally just dirt. Every time you move, you're breathing in dust. Your windows don't have glass. That's a premium feature. You just have wooden shutters that you have to kick to close. You're sleeping on a bag of straw. And you're not alone. Lice and fleas are living in there too, and they don't pay rent. You've just accepted them as roommates at this point.
First thing you hear in the morning is coughing. Everyone here coughs more than they breathe. Why? Because of the fire. You've got angry orange air burning right in the middle of the room with no chimney. You've been breathing smoke since you were a toddler. Everyone smells like a mix of wet dogs, sweaty armpits, and burned wood. And that's before the workday even starts.
You're hungry. Breakfast exists, but it's mid. You stumble to the kitchen, which again is just the same room, and you get a bowl of pottage. What is pottage? Imagine a stew that has been boiling since your great-great-grandfather was a kid. They don't make a new one, they just keep adding stuff to the old one. Grains, roots, a random pebble. It's infinite lore stew. Your spoon is a stick that was probably used to castrate a goat yesterday. Hygiene wasn't invented yet. And the bread? Bro, this bread is a medieval weapon. You could literally crack a skull with it. It's harder than your will to live. It's made of flour mixed with sawdust and powdered grass. You have to soak it in the stew just so your teeth stand a chance. Sometimes the bread was infected with fungus that made you hallucinate. And for a drink, beer. Even the kids are drinking it. Water back then was basically liquid death. Rivers were full of animal waste and whatever the town dumped upstream. Beer was safer because they boiled it, which killed the big bacteria. It wasn't strong beer, just small beer, so you could vibe all day without falling over.
20 minutes after breakfast, your stomach starts a revolution. Something in that infinite stew was definitely not meant for humans. You need to go. Now. But there's no bathroom. You have two options. Option one, the family bucket. Everyone's watching. It's a shared experience. Option two, you go outside and dump it straight onto the street. The air hits you like a wall. It smells like a swamp and death. People just pour their waste out the window. If they're feeling polite, they'll yell "Gardy Lou," which is French for "watch out for the water," except it's definitely not water. The street is a brown, bubbling river of sludge, dead rats, animal dung, and rainwater. When it rains, it floods. When it's hot, it steams. This is why medieval cities were total death traps. Nobody connected the water to the deaths for another 500 years. Big history kept them in the dark.
Your stomach still hurts. It's burning. You need a doctor, but real doctors only work for kings. You get the village multitasker. This is the guy who cuts hair, pulls teeth, and does amputations with the same rusty butter knife. He doesn't wash his hands because soap is too expensive. He looks at you and says your humors are mid. Medieval science believed you were filled with 4 magical fluids: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. If you're sick, his only move is to drain you like a juice box. He grabs a blade and opens a vein to let the bad blood out. Now you're dehydrated and you've lost half your blood. 10 out of 10 healthcare. If that doesn't work, he slaps some leeches on you. If you're still sick, you probably just angered God.
If you don't get better soon, people start whispering. They're looking for someone to blame for the bad harvest or the dead cow. Suddenly, you're the village witch. Once the rumor starts, you're cooked. No evidence needed. They drag you to the square and ask if you're a witch. If you say no, they say, that's what a witch would say. If you say yes, you're executed. Then comes the trial by ordeal. They tie you up and throw you in the river. If you sink, you're innocent, but you drown. If you float, you're a witch, and they kill you anyway. Logic wasn't a thing back then.
You haven't even lasted 24 hours and everything is falling apart. But this wasn't rare. This was the vibe for centuries. Your ancestors lived through this madness, so you could sit here on your phone in the rectangle age. So yeah, say thank you to your medieval grandpa.
He endured the infinite stew and the brown sludge rivers so you could complain about your Wi-Fi being slow. Don't trust the textbooks, guys. Big history wants it to sound fancy. It was just mud. Subscribe for more real history before they find me. Peace.